You know, we hear a lot about what is wrong with school. Let me give you my view as to why we need a totally new school experience for children in every country of the world. My name is Roy Andersen. From the moment our child is born, we care for them. We love to see them happy and to laugh. We take notice when they cry, and we worry when they become ill. We love our child. And we do everything we can to help them. Then, when they are 5, 6 or 7, depending upon our educational system, we hand them over to the school. When we do this, we trust and we hope that the teachers they meet will do everything they can to give our child a good education. So they can go to a better university and thereafter get a good job that will give them security and with this happiness in their life. What really happens is that from the moment our child enters school, they are confronted with a mass of children, each trying to understand themselves, each driven by their own needs and their own insecurities. Some will want to be their friends, some will not like them, some will want to hurt them. Each child will struggle to gain the security they want the way they think they can get it. As our child struggles to understand themselves amongst other children, they have to concentrate on rules to learn. These rules begin by teachers telling them where they cannot stand, where they must sit, and when they can and when they cannot talk. These rules condition and conform the mind of our child from the three-dimensional world of free play to the two-dimensional world of pen, paper and book. So these rules develop to tell our child how to hold a pen, where to write the first letter on a page, how to find the right page of a book, and then how to spell a word, make a sentence, and begin to understand how to move variables around in arithmetic. How well the child would adapt their mind to understanding these 3 R's of reading, writing and arithmetic, providing they are happy and feel secure in their class, will largely depend upon the ways they have been prepared for the school experience by their parents. These will be the same parents who will give them a sense of purpose and a quality of discipline to keep up with their studies right throughout their school life. The thing we need to grasp here is that the differences children display on day 1 will largely remain with them throughout the whole school experience, unless they meet a bully who disturbs their mind and causes them to fall behind in their learning. Now, what we do not know is that the school experience was never designed to create equal opportunities for all children. This is because the educational system used by every country in the world today is a remodeled version of a design that arose in the industrial era, where school was to be a processing system as part of a processing society. The purpose of school, and the one we still hold to today, is to produce the managers and the managed for work and society. To enable this huge machine of education to function in as cost-effective way as possible, it clung to the old political idea that the social role of the parents indicate the ability of their child. To make this appear so, and in a basic sense, schools selected the language of the ruling faction of its society, made this the standard language, and judged each child's background familiarity with this to be a measure of their natural intelligence. On this basis, teachers working through a highly conditioning and self-limiting environment for the student could give out information, mark the responses returned to them, and so evaluate the potential worth of each one. In this scheme of things, there never was a desire to teach the child how to think, for the general citizen they would come to be. And this is how the school worked, until it is the 1980s, when the digital era demanded that school place more students in university. To make this possible, school lowered the standard of the language it used in its textbooks, which enabled a wider range of students to understand better what was going on. This enabled them to perform better, which made it appear that school had improved, and was now better than ever before. But this is an illusion. The reality is that education is in a terrible mess. Teachers are running out of it as fast as they can. Last year, 40% of new teachers in the UK left within their first year on the job, with the student population increasing. Indeed, we can expect 20% more children in school within the next 10 years, with not enough teachers to teach them. But the whole learning environment of school is wrong. The student of today seldom has the peace of mind to concentrate happily on their studies. Children live in a toxic world that we really do not understand and only witness through increases in bullying and violence that are taking over the school atmosphere. It is not just that children are bullied, but by this, the chemistry in their brain can be altered for life. And while we focus upon bullying and violence in the school, we little grasp how this is affecting our next generation and so the attitude they will have as our future citizens. Yet, children still do not know why they are in school and what they should do to learn better. They're as lost as we were. Indeed, too many students leave school with less capability in the 3 hours than they did a century ago. This was made clear in a recent report, which revealed that 50% of primary school children fail to reach an acceptable level in these most elementary subjects. So, because we do not understand what intelligence is, we spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on new exciting classrooms, when all we really need is a teacher who can sit on the floor and explain things to each child in their own terms. Yet, while students need more time with a real teacher to understand what they do not, we find that school is now focusing upon replacing the human teacher with a computer program. This is a big mistake. Least because computers only improve the type of reasoning the student has developed and do not restructure their intelligence as a human teacher could, but much, much more because children need to learn through the human experience, sharing thoughts and feelings with others, because this is a skill they will most need in the lives they will lead. You see, the world of our children will not be the world we know, and yet school is not providing them with the skills of reason for this. We still teach children to be dualistic thinkers, yes or no, and not why or how, because this is what was only required of the general citizen. But our children will need to be far more adaptable in the skills of intelligence, to reason and to think better for the rapidly changing work situations they will face. As nanotechnology develops, it will alter our whole understanding of what work means. Our children will be doing jobs we have not even heard of or invented. And if we teach children how to think better, they will reason better, and so be more responsible to themselves and to their society in how they behave, in a world that seems to be going increasingly out of control. Therefore, if we are to help our children to live in a safer, happier, and more stable world, then we need to educate them in a very different way than school is now doing. I have dedicated my life to understand all I have mentioned here, and far more, and sought to provide solutions through the books I have written. These books, written in the language of the ordinary parent, and for those whose English is a second language, explain how the school really works, and why intelligence is not what we think it is. It is important to know this, because school and society work on an understanding of intelligence that is wrong. So, I explain in detail how emotion and language work together to devise the level of intelligence within the child and how this dictates their school performance. Also, the subjects we teach children in school are ones that fitted the need of the 19th and 20th centuries. They will not serve well the needs of this century. To help our child of today, I suggest new subjects for the school curriculum. Subjects that will enable all children to be taught how to raise their thinking and reasoning from day one, to be better at problem solving, and so how, as a collective body, they can develop to be highly aware of their learning, with each taking their own responsibility for their school experience and each prepared better to be the high-level thinking citizen that will enable them to hang on to a democratic world in view of the dominance of artificial intelligence that is rapidly taking control of our work and society. For this, we need to educate parents and those who will be parents to know how to develop intelligence in their children, and we need teachers who know how to raise intelligence by developing their lessons through a highly interactive dialogue to allow each student to understand better through their own particular language, are able to stimulate the class through reinvestigation to keep each individual up to date, and are prepared to accept a greater responsibility for the marks they give. In essence, We need a new school. A school that knows how to prepare the future citizen to be more adaptable in their intelligence and more responsible to themselves, their society, if we are not to fail the child of today for the world they will inherit from us.